All right, so I'm going to move into a different segment, and this segment is really about examining your language. For the last 3 months, I rolled out a program called The Fearless Journey, and I'm going to talk about that because I think that in this place right now, it's really, 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 really a time to design your own life and figure things out for yourself. I think that with the world and the way that the world is, that we are in a climate where it seems like. Oh, shit. Can I get it right? So what I wanted to do was I'm gonna read something that I wrote earlier today while I was focusing on one of my coaching programs. So one of it is basically saying that examining your language. That it's time to design the life through your words. It's so very important to watch your day-to-day inner conversations. Every day and every word, whether you speak good or whether you speak negative, it's really going to show up in your life. So your language, your inner dialogue is the beginning of your breakthrough. Speak it to it manifests. Genesis 1. God said it and then he saw it. Oftentimes in society, it's so many things that go on in our lives that distract us, that can cause us to lose sight of the vision that we originally started. Sometimes people or their situations or their agendas can come into what it is that you are predestined to do. You have to fight back and you have to say no, that this day is not going to be that way. And so you have to ask yourself, what are those things that you are speaking? What are those things are you saying to yourself in the mirror? What are the things that you are declaring over your life? And I would think that it honestly begins with understanding who you are, understanding whose you are, and having that conversation in the mirror. Making sure that you intentionally, every single day, that you decree, that you declare, and also making sure that you spend at least 30 minutes a day within something that is significant to your life. You want to make sure that your purpose is aligned to where you're going. And if where you are in this exact moment is not where you see yourself in the next 2 to 3 years, it's always best to walk away. It's always best to keep your intentions focused, making sure that you understand that every single day there's a new opportunity to do something new, to change, to make a difference in the things that you don't like, the things that you see around you. A lot of times we say that they need to do something, and oftentimes you are the day. You are the person that is the change. I know for myself, growing up in DC, I found myself stuck in a psychological cycle of saying that I could not have or I could not do the things that I knew that it was possible. And so today I want to encourage people that are out there that's watching to make sure that you examine your self-image. Do not dumb yourself down to make others feel comfortable. I will be who God created me to be. I will be Coach Kellie. The law of attraction says that the way you look at yourself, the way you attract success and prosperity in your life is through speaking it. It's through allowing yourself to know that you are worth it, that you deserve everything. In America, it's so many things that's going on in today's society that will cause you to say that this cannot be your time, that this cannot be your moment, that this cannot be your inherited day. But today I encourage you to thrive, to write down your vision, to create a vision board, to create something, and say to yourself every day that I am a money magnet, that I am a wealth magnet, that every day is another dollar. Some people say today, every day is a new day, or another day, another dollar. Well, I ask you and encourage you to 10x that and say another day, another $10,000. Another day, more clients, more customers, more people coming into my business to support my business with excitement and dedication. Most people don't know that the average millionaire reads 41 books a year. The average 9 to 5 worker reads one book a year. You have to elevate your mind and your thought paradigm in order to go to the next level. I was not able to see more zeros until I began to read about people who made more zeros. One of my favorite books is The Millionaire Next Door. And at the time of me reading the book, I had over $50,000 worth of debt. 2 years later, my credit was at an 800. I was able to do that by understanding that the way to become successful is to make and generate a lot of money and live way below your means. So I began to take my lunch day after day. I began to not spend money on frivolous things. I began to spend countless hours reading, creating books, creating programs. Now I have 3 books. My second book is a bestseller, Amazon in the business section. Now it's titled with over 20 different languages in 20 different countries. To be successful, you want to make sure that you have a winner's mentality. A winner's mentality is to eliminate clutter. When you look inside of your closet, what do you see? When you look inside of your trunk, what do you see? That is who you are. If your trunk is cluttered, 9 times out of 10, your thoughts are cluttered. If your life is cluttered, if there's no place in your house to think, to breathe, and to meditate, chances are that you are emotionally frustrated. Emotions are the catalyst to your life. And when you live your life on purpose, you live your life with integrity. Integrity is everything. Focus is everything. Embrace the moments that you have. You only have one life. Haters are your secret admirers for real. I can tell you so many people that I have been around in my life that told me that I wasn't going to make it and I wasn't going to win. But what's so amazing is that the same people that tell you that you're not going to make it, that you're not going to win, are the same people that's watching. People are watching. So you have to make sure that you give them something to look at. I used to say that, or shout out to my haters, but now I just look at them that maybe they have some issues that I don't understand. I recall one day I was driving and a small animal ran in front of my car. And what was so amazing about it is that I didn't stop. I ran it over. What would I look like crashing my car, swerving to avoid hitting some small irritated animal and possibly killing myself? You see, that's what it looks like when you are willing to give up something amazing for something so small and petty. People come in your life, they see the greatness on the inside of you, and the greatness on the inside of you will irritate them. And so what do you look like given it time? Run it over and keep going. Stay focused. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is examining the future, knowing that the best years are ahead of you and not in the back of you. Sometimes I think people forget that the rearview mirror is small on purpose and that the windshield is much bigger, much larger, because the future that you hold on the inside is much more intense, more deeper, more significant than the things that are behind you. And sure, your haters are always going to remind you of what you used to be and what you used to do and how you used to do it. And even when they come around, you're going to tell other people about it. But today is the day to celebrate who you are and the things that you've done. So an activity that I have for you is, number 1, to write down 7 things that you have planned for the future. And those are the things that you focus on. In the morning, you focus on them. I just took the Eric Thomas challenge, which was to wake up every day at 3 a.m. and work and give my first 4 hours the most that I could give it. So it was really, really hard waking up at 3 a.m. when no one else was up. But I'm determined and dedicated to do the things that other people won't do so that I can live the lifestyle that other people won't be able to ever live. Most people watch 40 to 80 hours of TV every single day. Well, last month, I didn't watch one single minute of it. because I knew that television for me is it's okay, but it's more so television. So if I have a vision to tell, then I need to be doing something. And instead of me watching Empire, I'm creating my own empire. Instead of me watching Scandal and all of these other shows that I don't think that will ever bring me any value to my life, I decided that this year would be a year for me that I would donate more money than I ever did in my entire life to give back to communities, to send money to all over the country. And so I decided to do that. Just because things are not popping right now doesn't mean you change your dopeness. Don't change your swag. There are some things that are more popular than others. There are some people that are more popular than others. I remember passing out my business cards and people literally throwing them on the ground, but it did not stop me. I was dedicated and determined that I was going to start and have a business in every state in the United States. And so this is my story, and I'm deciding to talk about it. Through the sacrifices that I've made, I purchased my first boutique in 2012. And then I launched two boutiques, one in Miami and one in Plantation. It brought me great joy to know that I was able to open up a boutique in Plantation, Florida, when that was a place where my ancestors were sold. Then I went to Houston, then to Camp Springs, Maryland. And now I've launched my sixth boutique. I think a lot of people see me and they see me in my stature and don't understand the sacrifices that I made to win in life. But I'm dedicated and determined to help others. This is exciting for me because I know that humility is the beginning of honor. So stay humble in who you are and the values that you have. Humbleness is when you have it, but you don't floss. When you have it and you give it away instead of getting laced. Now, the beginning of my career, I was a shopaholic. I was a material girl. I was a bag lady. And in all of humanity and all of humility, I sold all of my designer purses to start my business. And the rest is history. So don't get a big head or treat others less than. Make sure you have a spirit of gratitude always and stay present. What does it mean to stay present? Well, to stay present means that no matter where you are, what's going on, that you're present in your body and don't let anyone take you out of that. The present is a gift. I see all the time folks getting a little bit of money and treating people like they are nothing. Remember where you got your blessings from. I was reading a book called The Young CEO, and one of the contributing authors was the owner of McDonald's. And they asked him how did he feel that he had so many people working for him. He chuckled and said, well, I work for them. When you have a business, you work for your customers, you work for your clients, you work for your constituents, your members, your partners. Don't ever get it twisted. If anyone partners with my brand, I have never said once that anyone works for me. I'll say things like they work with me. They're on the same page as me. We have the same mission because humility is where all the blessings flow. I've been able to travel the world because of humility. And every day I'm aiming more and more momentum for the greater destiny on the inside of me. Claim your promotion. When you go to work on tomorrow, claim your promotion. I believe that there are so many things that are so many strengths, so many weaknesses, and so many talents on the inside of us. Being talented is just not enough. The key to success is being as authentic as possible. To be authentic means that you are transparent. There's no airs. There's no fluff. Just to be who you are and to be authentic to that. Sometimes our obstacles are blessings in disguise. At the age of 15, I was homeless. At the age of 18, I was homeless. And now have a nonprofit organization where I travel the world and help homeless people in the whole in the world. So, being authentic is an amazing feeling. Do you? Your authenticity can never ever be duplicated. Now we're going to move into examining our praise. Our praise for ourselves, our praise for others, our praise for God and all of the things that He's done for us. Stop complaining and start declaring your results. Praise is your weapon. Use it. I often tell people if they can't think of a prayer, if they can't think of a word, just turn on your favorite go-go music and just dance around the house. It'll make you feel good. It'll help you to celebrate who you are. God, for positive things that He's done in your life. Sometimes we focus a lot on negativity. Remember not to worry, because worry is the opposite of faith. Fear is the opposite of praise. And the more you waver in stress, the more you attract everything that you don't want in your life. The more you celebrate, the more you dance, the more you laugh, the more wonderful things you attract in your life. Complaining is the fuel of negativity. Complaining and worrying only adds fuel to the fire, increasing the pain and the effects that it has on your life. There are 7 days a week. Pick one for each thing that you want to do. People ask me, how am I able to do so many things in such a small period of time? I say that every day of the week I do something. So Monday, I focus only on Coach Kellie. On Tuesday, I focus only on me. Wednesday, I have a day for each thing. That keeps me grounded. That keeps me focused. So I know that each day is one thing in mind. And it helps me to get things done. Can you honestly say that you're ready for the next level? Have you studied, prepared, or planned for it? If not, make it happen. Create a positive workflow and plan for it daily. So early in the morning when you rise, you attack your priorities. You eat them alive, and you don't stop until it's done. Watch what you hear. Watch what you hear. Watch what you listen to. Watch what you put into your spirit. Take inventory of your day-to-day television, radio interaction. For 40 days and 40 nights, I remember a few years ago, I gave up radio and TV for Lent. And I will never forget every day I journaled. A lot of the stuff that I talk about seems super duper boring to most people, but it's very inciting to those who are purpose driven. So you have to think about how many times have you watched a reality show and before you know it, you started acting just like those people. You begin to resemble it in your real life and you found yourself like acting a little more ratchet than you would have, or saying things that you probably would have never seen. Or maybe even listen to one of your favorite artists and then before you know it, you got into a scuffle or you had road rage. Didn't even know it. Time management. It's important to understand that time management is an important skill to success. Not sure why people call me and they know I have a show at 5 on Mondays. Integrity is prosperity. Most people ask me, why am I so successful? Well, I'll say integrity. Integrity is being there when you say you're going to be there, and when you're running late, you tell people. I don't know what it is about people that choose to live a life that's not integral, but it's okay. If you keep allowing something to disrespect you, devalue you, or those are the things that will continue to happen. So you have to live in your standards. Examine your circle. Struggle is inevitable, but struggle is inevitable. We all struggle. but failure is always optional. Sometimes adversity can be or serve as the reason to charge or to change your mind and stop doing things. If you meditate on positive thoughts and things, eventually you will react in a positive way. Unplug. Unplugging is a word that I often tell people when they find themselves in toxic situations and toxic relationships. Unplug. Have you ever suffered a power outage? A power outage is one of those things that some people are even experiencing now with this wind tsunami, what they call it, wind tsunami, wind, whatever it is from this week. And their power went out. And some people have been without power for days now. But generally, when you have a power outage, the first thing you do is to do what? You have to go downstairs and check your circuit breaker, and you look at it and you try to figure out which one of these surges are on, and you turn it back on. But before you turn it back on, if it's too much things plugged in, it causes it to explode, right? So it's very, very important to unplug. So when you find yourself in a situation, which I know many people find themselves in, where they just feel like they can't do it anymore, can't take it anymore, I just don't want to be bothered, I just don't even want to be around people. Everybody's around me that just feels like they're just sucking the life out of me. I grant you today permission to unplug. Unplug yourself from negativity. Unplug yourself from toxic relationships. Unplug yourself from anything that is draining your energy. It's okay to unplug the phone. It's okay to unplug from the internet. Have you ever been on Facebook? Have you ever been on Twitter? And constantly there was an issue. Someone died. Someone was hurt. And you can live in 13 different stories in one stroll on Facebook. But you can't keep doing the same things and expecting different results. So you have to disconnect yourself from negative thinkers, negative speakers, and negative doers. Most of the time, you have to examine your moods, because your moods are signposts to your destiny. When you find yourself irritated, you have to stop and watch and say, why am I irritated? And what can I do? Your calling, your purpose is a sign of your irritations. And let your irritations lead you. Because what irritates me the most is when I see people stuck in the mud. That irritates me so bad. I hate to see people stuck. I hate to see people depressed. I hate to see people in anything other than happiness and in a happy space. So what irritates me the most is that I know that I have to do something, that I have to make a change. So what irritates you the most? And you take that and you find what irritates you the most and you fix it. For some people, they cannot walk by and see kids without parents. So you have some people whose lifelong journey is foster care. Examine your moods. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Speak now or forever live in depression. Speak now or forever be buried in someone else's dream. Either you're going to build your dream or you're going to build someone else's dream. There's only two places to be. And to the person who has never been able to find a job or keep a job, maybe your destiny is to create a job. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you don't know it. Maybe you're a CEO and you don't know it. Maybe your dream has been buried in the things that you've experienced. Find out what makes you different. Maximize your time. Take a moment to unplug from your peers for a moment and find the inner inspiration and not the outer inspiration. As I always say, continue to walk in integrity, self-respect, and love. That will make you stand out. If you ever been to Successful Looks or any of my businesses, people say the same thing. They just don't want to leave Why? Because they feel safe. They feel appreciated and they feel loved. And they always know that our goal is to help them, not just through fashion, but life. Examine your thoughts. I always achieve my goals because I conquer my thoughts. Instead of speaking what I feel, I speak what God has promised. You must have someone you can trust, someone you can talk to, a point of reference that you can share your weaknesses and share your day-to-day struggles with. Stay optimistic through it all. Your attitude determines your altitude. Faith is the fuel that feeds the soul. We are in it to win it. And you have to count the cost in everything you do. Successful people are great thinkers. They take the time to invest in them. For a few years, I invested $4,000 into the stock market. And I saw some return and I saw great loss. But it wasn't until I took that $4,000, I said, I'm not going to invest in my IRA this year. I'm going to take $4,000 and invest in Coach Kellie. And I invested $4,000 and my business took off more than investing in any stock or bond, mutual fund or CD. I saw that every time I invested in me, the universe gave back to me in abundance. And the reason why so many people fail over and over again is because they don't take the time to invest in themselves, in their goals, and in their dreams. So I encourage you today to overcome in your decisions, to overcome in the fears that generationally stop you. And it doesn't matter if you were born with a silver spoon or a plastic spoon, destiny is within reach. It starts in your mind in the invisible arena. And so you want to make sure that you understand that success only comes before work in the dictionary. Remember to take success one day at a time. Don't ever get comfortable with mediocrity. Don't ever get comfortable with losing. Know your priorities and stop ignoring them. One of the reasons why I am debt-free is because I started answering the phone. I stopped avoiding my priorities. And one day I remember I was talking to one of my creditors. I owed them $5,000. And I'll never forget answering the phone that day saying, hello, I'm going to face them today. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to send them a voicemail. I'm going to talk to them. So I remember talking to them directly, and I faced my fear. And the lady on the phone says, well, it's okay. We have a program. We have a new program, and we have it where we'll go ahead and dissolve your debt for you. But if I never faced my fears, if I never answered the phone, I would still be running. Stop running. Face your fears. It's time to go to the next level. The epitome of stupidity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So if you're going through a constant cycle of crisis, defeat, and fear, take a moment. Stop making excuses. Become committed. And stay committed into the end. That's it for today. That's all I have. I wrote this and I wanted to share this with you in my second segment. And I'll see you guys next week.